Yes, you know what you were saying. If you guys came from either my Instagram account or my Etsy shop, then welcome. This is the face of TGFX, and this channel is basically just showing behind the scenes of all the cover art and posters I do. So if that sounds like your type of thing, then feel free to stick around. And yeah, let's jump into the video. Alright then, so ever since I put out that little Pete poster slash process thing about 10 years ago, I've been wanting to make another one for my most recent posters I've been doing. I'm just going to bring you guys through my process of what I've done, and yeah, let's go from there. Oh, I don't actually know if I've mentioned it, but this poster is for Juice WRLD. Not for him, but a poster of Juice WRLD. Available on my Etsy, cheeky little plug. Go buy. So I basically started off with an A3 blank canvas and imported my picture of Juice. I then used the Edit Selection Subject Focus tool, and what this does is basically separate the foreground to the background, but you can't change the tolerance level, so I had to go in and change like the little bits I didn't pick up on, such as the zipper and the fingers, with a pen tool. Then once I had Juice as a PNG image on his own, I was able to import my background, which I basically decided to go for like this Tokyo inspired Japanese aesthetic. The reason being is because I thought Juice's clothes and the lighting, like the purple lighting, is quite reminiscent of a busy, sort of loud city, so I thought this background would go well with it. Then I added a Gaussian blur to this background in order to keep Juice sort of being the main focus of the design. I then found like this pinky blue image, and I wanted this to be the main colour scheme of my poster, so I imported it as a separate image and changed the blending options to hue. But I didn't quite realise this would make Juice look like Milo from Betweenies, which wasn't my, it wasn't ultimately my goal. So I changed it and basically just created I duplicated a layer of Juice and then placed it above, and then lowered the opacity a little bit to keep him a little bit purple, but not too much. Then I realised that when using the selection tool earlier, I kind of done quite a shoddy job, so I went back and just cleaned up all the bits that I missed, like the inside of the zipper and all these little details. And then for Juice's hair, I used a razor on hardness 0, and what this done was basically keep the hair looking soft with no like hard outline. I then wanted to carry on this whole neon aesthetic from the background into the foreground, so I found Juice's definitely not illegal favourite beverage of choice and added a Gaussian blur just to keep it, you know, keep Juice as like the main focus. By changing the blending options to screen mode of these two images, I can then eliminate the black background as well. Then it was time to add my type, and honestly, like, right guys, I can only apologise for this. I didn't realise that this little hello thing at the bottom, I didn't even clock that was there when I was designing, and it's very annoying looking at this back. And yeah, I apologise, but it does go eventually, but it's there for a little bit. So yeah. I found this font that I quite liked called Kindscope, and it was like a script font, and I basically just manipulated the type in order to have the E join into the W. I just thought it looked kind of cool and keep a whole like script thing going on. And yeah. I then selected both type layers and basically just merged them into one image, and this is basically so I could then edit them later on in blending options, because I knew that I wanted to keep a outline stroke and not the actual type itself. So you'll see what I do in a minute. I basically just raterize a layer and then select the white inside and click delete, and then you're left with a stroke. And then I go into blending options and I can add outer glow, another stroke to it, color overlay, all this fun stuff. And yeah, that's how I got like this whole like neon sort of glowing effect for the type. Then I just used a pen tool and cleaned up the little bits of type that I wasn't quite happy with, like how the E's and C's go in a little bit. So I just cleaned up everything that I didn't like. I then added my surrounding little type features I wanted to include in the same font, like Legends Never Die and then the whole 999 thing, just to go with Juice's aesthetic. And yeah. Now the very last detail, which I honestly feel like makes this poster, I'm so happy that I found it, it's basically just a colour overlay of pink, like just slightly overjuiced, just so he blends into the background a little bit more. And that is basically the poster. There we go, that is the final poster done. Now I actually printed it off because I wanted to collect a few samples before I put them up on my shop, and here we are. So it comes out very nice and bright and pink and purple and cool. I don't know, man, I'm gassed with this. Like, I really like it. It's gonna go right on my wall next to the other posters. And yeah, if you guys enjoyed this video, then please let me know in the comments below. Leave some love, leave some support. I really appreciate everything. And if you haven't already, then check out my Instagram at TGFX right there, and my Etsy shop, which you can buy all of my designs and the posters which we'll be designing on this channel for. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed the video, and sick. Island in a bit. Peace. Oh, outros are fucking awkward. Mate, I've just seen a massive spider in the corner of my room, and it's slightly off-putting, not gonna lie, but we move. It's all good. It's not going to distract me at all. Definitely not.